Okay, good morning. It's Rank Carcass. It's the morning after our games, our 3 days of gaming. So I'm no longer as mind mushed as it was yesterday. So we've been playing the last 3 days on historical board gaming's Global War 3645. And thank you very much to the folks at Historical Board Gaming for allowing General Hand Grenade to take the map home so we can try it out, and for him for inviting me over to help play the game with him. I must say, if anybody is ever invited by Mr. General Hand Grenade, he is a most gracious host. He will make you feel welcome and you'll have a great time. And one thing I can say about this game is if you have any interest in it at all, the people that are playing it with you, doesn't matter if you got different kinds of jobs or different political attitudes or any of that stuff, so long as you just come in here with a decent love of the game and just want to have a good time, you will have a good time. I met and played with Jinx the last 3 days, and it was a wonderful experience playing with him as well. And Panzer King, he's an excellent guy as well. And then General Hand Grenade. So the four of us played a very good and exciting game. Kind of feel a little bit bad for Panzer King because he was Russia and he just absolutely got annihilated. He's only got a few units on this side of the map. You're pretty much looking at Russia right there. So, but you know what? He seemed to really enjoy himself, and it was a great pleasure to have him with us. So, and Jinx, he played a strategy that was quite different. He had to actually bring his own militia tokens, and most of those have been taken off the map, but half of the stuff that's Axis was militia. So he was just putting them down so that he had it covered. Now that I'm clear-headed and it's the next day, I'm going to go over a couple of the differences on the map that, and then the rule set that we noticed. I was a little bit foggy-headed yesterday, so yeah, playing 3 days and trying to keep things going. Well, I might as well just start right where we're at here. So we've got some variations here, as you can see, these lines on these territories in here. These all happen to signify desert, right? So in desert you can't move more than one, no matter what unit it is. And then this area here is a combination of desert and mountain. So you get both terrain modifiers. I mean, mountain's got the same movement negative as desert, so that's the same. But in deserts, vehicle class like tanks or mechs or any of the other new units that happen to be the shape of a vehicle, if they roll an 11 or a 12, they have to retreat out of desert in an attack. So that makes things difficult. Plus then you also at the same time have the mountain modifier. So this makes it an excellent place to defend. Just for that reason, it's difficult to attack into it. All right. So we had those, and then we have the jungle territory signified by these fine. It's difficult to see on my camera here, but those are green dots, the dark jungle green. Got some more here in the Amazons there, and a bunch over here. Unfortunately, in our game, we didn't actually have any. These are all militia, by the way. We didn't have any actual attacks through the jungle, so we couldn't try those out. There's something in the rules there about armor of certain weight classes not being able to go through there. I think it was medium and heavy. So that changes how you have to play that section of the map. You can't just have a massive tanks flowing out of a factory on either end and just flowing up and down through the Philippines. What else do we have? We've also got, oh yeah, in the mountain rules, they changed those a little bit. Aircraft now suffer a -1 penalty fighting in mountains. And marsh, we never actually encountered any marsh in our game, although there is a bit here in Finland there. Those large dots stand for marsh. We never did encounter them, so I couldn't tell you if it changes the gameplay or not, because we didn't actually test anything in the marsh. And then finally we have tundra. As you can see, it goes all the way across the top of the map. And then it goes across the top of the map over there. You can't see it clearly, but so in marsh, it just tundra, it just makes it impassable for any units. So that was the point of that. Let's see what else was going on. Rivers and canals. There are a few more rivers. They're not as obvious as they were in the other map, but this, again, remember this is a prototype map, right? So you have these rivers here. They're not as obviously visible as the version 2 map, but yeah, this is a prototype map, so they're a little harder to see at times. However, you can use these as for strategic rail movement or as tracing a supply path, so that kind of changes things a bit, but we never encountered any neat reason to use those. Everywhere that there was rivers, we happen to use something else. There happen to be rail lines. I could see maybe in here, for example, you could use it as a supply path to get supplies to that location there. Maybe build a factory up there or something. Alright, what else do we have? The strategic naval movement, definitely noticed a change with that. And one of the major changes in this game were the Navy bases. Now there's now 6, well there's technically 3 different types of naval bases. And of the major ones, not counting the submarine base or the seaplane base, those are specific to those vehicles. But, so there's technically 8 Navy bases, but anything in white is a minor, and it does not give you a bonus movement. So these blue ones here will give you bonus move. This is a dockyard, major dockyard, minor dockyard. This one will give you a movement bonus, and it will repair 3 ships, capital ships. This one will give you a no movement bonus, and it will repair 1 capital ship. This one just gives you a movement bonus and accepts lend-lease. And this one only accepts lend-lease of $3 or less. So that's basically the only real difference there. And then you have your shipyards. Let's find a shipyard here. There's a pair over here on this coast. Oh, let's change that a bit. So you have a minor shipyard here. This can build 2 units of any type and repair 1 unit. One capital ship, but it gives no movement bonus. And the shipyard here is like the classic shipyard. Repair 3 units, build 5 of any type, including capital ships. And it gives you a movement bonus because it's in the blue. Now, I don't mind that there's this many Navy bases and whatnot. I'm almost thinking that it took me a couple of days to wrap my head around how the Navy bases have changed, right? We used to have just 2 types, and now we have 6 types. And the changes between the different types of Navy bases are so minor. One of the issues I had is here with India. I cannot build any ships. So I'd almost wish that instead of a minor shipyard, they just made a major dockyard where you could build two ships of any type. You know what I mean? Not capital. And then just eliminated the minor shipyard completely. Or changed that around and made it so that you could have a minor shipyard here or something. But it made it difficult because it totally changed how you play the game. A lot of the old Navy bases that were on the map that you used for movement bonus have changed, so it totally changes how you play the naval game. Let's see what else happened here. another thing is the strategic naval movement. That was wonderful. Thank you, folks. And a bunch of these new units, like there's tank destroyers and light and battle cruisers and a few other things that got added in, the motorized artillery. Nope, we didn't really buy too many this game, but that was just a matter of money. The same problem we have in the past. It's some of the nations don't make enough money to warrant buying the fancy units or incorporating any of the expansions, because some of those expansions cost additional money, right? So my one comment would be it would be nice to add in a little bit more income for some of the countries. I'm not talking like major, like $2 or $3 extra for everybody, just to balance it out. That way you have a little bit more money to build a couple more units. I like how London's a city now. It definitely changed how I played England, right? You have 4 territories here: Scotland, Northern England, Southern England, and then London as a circle here. That totally changed how I played. And our setups called for a 4th territory in Japan, which was very similar. So I'm not sure how this is going to lay out, but Tokyo is going to be a circle as well, I believe. And it'll be a separate territory that it's in, kind of like how Southern England and London are separated. Anyway, yeah, but if you're going to come down here and play, whether it's on this map or any map, I definitely recommend giving it a go with Mr. General Hand Grenade here. And thank you very much for allowing us to play on this map. I didn't notice too many other locations where they added or deleted territories or sea zones, but I did notice that they've changed some of the names, right? For those of you in Canada, they've corrected this. This is now Quebec and Labrador and Newfoundland, and this is Ontario and Ottawa and Nova Scotia. So we're, you know, a little more accurate. This is now named Bavaria rather than by the city name of Munich. They've taken a lot of city names out and they've incorporated a few territory names. There's still a few that are not accurate. I can't remember where they are now. But like here in Turkey, for example, I'm not sure, but I believe Ankara is a city, but I don't know if that's also the name of the territory, right? Sometimes a province or a territory or state or whatever has the same name as its capital city, so I'm not sure. All right, and other than that, thank you very much. Had a great time. It was a good go. For the most part, like, we were using separate new rules that are under construction, so I don't know if you watched any of the videos that we've done, but there's a little bit of back and forth and trying to figure out what does this actually mean. But otherwise, had an excellent time. Thank you very much, and see you later.